everyone, my name is Katya and today I'm going to show you how to crochet this fox plant holder. It's an easy pattern. We start working from the base, work our way up, and all it is just single crochets in the round. For this project, I'm using number 4 medium weight yarn. I have it in black, orange, and white, and a 4mm crochet hook. We're going to start by working on the base first. You can use any color you want. I am going to be using orange so you can see better. If you don't want to change the color, I do recommend for you to start with white. We're going to start with the slip knot. And let's chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go ahead and slip stitch into the first chain to join and create a ring. Into this ring, we're going to be adding our single crochets. So chain 1, this chain 1 doesn't stand for anything. Into this ring, we're going to work 12 single crochets. So here's 1. I am working my tail in. 2, 3, 4. Continue working until you have a total of 12 single crochets. At the end of round 1, you should have 12 single crochets. You can go ahead and pull on this yarn tail to tighten the center a little bit. Now for the next part, next round, you're going to need some sort of a stitch marker. I'm going to be using just a piece of yarn. Go ahead and place it right in front of the first single crochet of round 1. For round 2, we're going to work 2 single crochets into each stitch around. So go ahead and insert your hook into the first single crochet and work 2 single crochets into that stitch. And we're going to repeat. We're going to work 2 single crochets into the next stitch. So here's 1, and go back into that same stitch and work your second single crochet. Again, go into the next stitch and work 2 single crochets. So here's 1, and go back into that same stitch and work your second single crochet. Like that, continue working, and at the end of this round, you should have 24 single crochets. For round 3, we're going to start by working 1 single crochet into the first stitch, which is right over here. Go ahead and work 1 single crochet into that stitch, and into the next stitch, we're going to work an increase, which is 2 single crochets. Let's repeat. Work 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and then 2 single crochets into the following stitch. And each round, we're going to have more single crochets between the increases. So again, work 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and then 2 single crochets into the following stitch. Continue working like this, and at the end of this round, you should have 36 single crochets. For round 4, we're going to work 1 single crochet into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and then 2 single crochets into the following stitch, which is our increase. Again, work 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. So here's 1, and then 2, and into the following stitch, work an increase, which is 2 single crochets. Again, work 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochets into the following stitch. Continue working like this, and at the end of this round, you should have 48 single crochets. For the next part, if you started using white yarn, you don't need to worry about this, but if you need to change your color to white, I will show you how that's done. Now, into the last stitch, we work 2 single crochets. Here, I only worked 1. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working on my second single crochet. So I'm going to insert my hook and then pull through. And here I have 2 loops. Instead of using the orange color, I'm going to drop the orange and pick up the white. And using the white, I'm going to pull through these 2 loops. I'm going to go ahead and change my stitch marker. And now, picking up the white yarn and not the orange, I'm just going to work 1 single crochet around. So I'm going to go ahead and work my yarn tails in, and here I'm just working on my single crochets. So for this round, round 5, all you're going to do is just work 1 single crochet into each stitch around. I'm going to go ahead and cut this later. And that's all it is. It's just working 1 single crochet for round 5, and at the end of round 5 you should have 48 single crochets, and I'll meet you then. Now for round 6 all the way to round 9, all we're going to do is just repeat round 5. We're just going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch around. Continue working like this for 4 rounds. It's just working 1 single crochet into each stitch around. Then we'll come back and measure and see what we need to do next. In the round 9, this is how it looks like. I just quickly wanted to show you that here I have 2 mason jars and one is larger than the other. And I just want to show you that this base can work for both. So for instance, this one is about 3-inch base, and for this one, the smaller one, it's measuring about 2.5-inch base. And then if you put this on, it'll work for both. So it'll work for this one. You're just going to have to add more rounds of the white, and then it'll also work for this one. And then for this one, you're just going to need less rounds. And this is why we stopped at round 9, because you want to measure out and see how many rounds you want to work on the white one. I'm going to continue working on single crochets using white for 4 more rounds, and then I'll get back to you and we'll change the color to orange. Here I finished working a total of 9 rounds in white. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch it off to orange. If you need to continue and crochet the white part, you can. So if your planter is taller, you can just continue and add a couple more rounds. It's up to you here. Here I have one last stitch unworked. I'm just going to go ahead and start working on it. So I'm going to insert my hook into that stitch and then yarn over and pull through. Leave it. I have 2 loops on my hook. Drop the white and pick up the orange now and pull through using orange. Like so. Tighten both. And now we're just going to continue. We're just going to continue working 1 single crochet into each stitch around for a total of 9 rounds. And I'm working my yarn tails in. And like that, I'm just going to continue and work my rounds using orange for a total of 9 rounds. Remember, if you need to change the size, you can by working more or less rounds. So continue working like this for 9 rounds and I'll meet you at the end and we'll start working on the ears. So here I finished working a total of 9 rounds, and what you want to do is just go ahead and try it on your planter and make sure it fits. You want it to be covered, and if you need to adjust the size, you can by adding more or less rounds. It's up to you here. So next step is let's go ahead and work on the ear. So we're going to leave this alone, don't cut it. And what we're going to do, you can actually remove the stitch marker, you don't need it anymore. We're going to count 11 stitches. So don't count this one, but start counting into the first single crochet right over here. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're going to skip 11 stitches, and into the 12th stitch, we're going to go ahead and insert our hook. Using white yarn, we're going to wrap it around the hook and pull through. Hold on to your yarn tail. Chain 1. Back into the same stitch, we're going to work 1 half double crochet. Work 1 double crochet back into that same stitch. And now we need 1 treble crochet. Wrap your yarn around 2 times. Go into the stitch, yarn over and pull through. We have 4 loops on our hook. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Chain 2. Now using the next stitch, so here's the next stitch, we're going to repeat and work 1 treble crochet. So wrap around the yarn 2 times. Go into the stitch, yarn over and pull through. We have 4 loops on our hook. Yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over and pull through 2. And yarn over and pull through 2. Now we need to work 1 double crochet back into that next stitch, into that same stitch I should say. And now we need to work 1 half double crochet. Now what we need to do is work 1 slip stitch back into that same stitch and cut your yarn. We're going to fasten off. Let's go ahead and work on the second ear. Skip 9 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and into the 10th stitch, insert your hook, wrap your white color around your hook, and pull through. Hold on to your yarn tail and chain 1. We're going to repeat and do the same thing as we did here. We're going to start with 1 half double crochet, worked into that same stitch, 1 double crochet, and 1 treble crochet, all worked into that same stitch. Chain 2, using the next stitch right over here, we're going to work 1 treble crochet, 1 double crochet, and 1 half double crochet, all into that same stitch. Now let's go ahead and slip stitch into that same stitch and cut your yarn. Pull your hook through and tighten your yarn tails. For the last round, we're going to use our orange that we used before and just work 1 round of single crochets. So go ahead and place your stitch marker back, and we're just going to work 1 single crochet around. Continue working on your single crochets, and I'll meet you right over here to show you how to work on the ear part. Here I worked a total of 11 single crochets, and I'm right at the ear. Into the half double crochet, we're going to work 1 single crochet. Into the double crochet, work 1 single crochet. And into the treble crochet of the previous round, or the ear round, go ahead and work 1 single crochet. Now we're at the chain 2 space, and into the chain 2 space, work 2 single crochets. And we're going to repeat. We're going to come down using the treble crochet stitch, work 1 single crochet, then work 1 single crochet on top of the double crochet, and 1 single crochet on top of the half double crochet. So we added 8 single crochets around the ear. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now what we need to do is jump to the next single crochet. So don't do anything here, but go into the next single crochet, and I am going to be working my yarn tails in, and work 1 single crochet. And we're going to work 1 single crochet until we get to the ear, the second ear. Here I'm at the second ear, and I'm just going to repeat and do the same thing. I'm going to work 1 single crochet right on top of that half double crochet, 1 single crochet into the double crochet stitch, and 1 single crochet into the treble crochet stitch, like so. So far I have 3. Into the chain 2 space, work 2 single crochets. Here's 1 and 1 more. And then repeat, work 1 single crochet into the treble crochet stitch, 1 single crochet into the double crochet stitch, and 1 single crochet on top of the half double crochet stitch. And again, we're going to skip everything here and jump to the next single crochet and work 1 single crochet into that stitch, working our yarn tails in, and continue work your single crochets all around until you get to this part right here, and we'll fasten off together. Once you finish a round of single crochets, take out this stitch marker, and all we're going to do is just slip stitch using that first single crochet, and we're going to fasten off and cut our yarn. Pull out your hook, tighten it, and now we need to work on the yarn tails. So turn your work inside out. We actually have 2, 1 here and 1 here. To work on this yarn tail, what I'm going to do is just bring it using any of the single crochet back loops only. So bring it towards the inside. And now using these single crochets, I'm going to go ahead and pick up the loops, the back loops of the stitches. I picked up about 5 or 6. Pull your needle out. And now drop 1 loop and come back where we started from, picking up as many loops as you can with your needle and pull through. And now all we need to do is drop 1 loop and come back up. and you're done with this, go ahead and cut it and repeat the same thing with this one. To work on the nose, I'm going to use brown yarn, but I do recommend for you to use black. Let's go ahead and start with the slip knot. You can use a magic ring if you want to. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and slip stitch into the first chain to join. We're going to create a really tiny ring, and into this ring we're going to work double crochet. So chain 2, this chain 2 doesn't stand as a stitch. Into this ring we're going to work 9 double crochets. So here's 1, 2, I am working my yarn tail in, 3, try your best here to find your ring, and once you start crocheting your double crochets you'll be able to see it better. Continue working until you have a total of 9 double crochets. Once you have your 9 double crochets all done, we need to slip stitch using the first double crochet, which is right over here. Go ahead and slip stitch using that stitch and fasten up and cut a long yarn for sewing. We need to find the center, and to do that what I like to do is just count my stitches, and I'm going to start on this side and start right over here just where the ear ends and just count until I find the middle. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and right over here is the middle. You can also fold it in half and just find it this way. I feel like the folding method is easier. So once you find your center, what you want to do is go ahead and place your nose. I did leave a long yarn tail for sewing. You can glue your nose on if you want to using hot glue. Now what I like to do is right over here where the white part ends, I like to center my nose using that. So right in the middle, I'm going to use this line and align it, and picking up one loop as close as I can to the nose, and one loop of the nose, I'm going to go ahead and sew. And again, I'm going to repeat, pick up one loop from the face and one loop from the nose, or even both loops. And same thing here, I'm just going to continue and do a whip stitch all around until the nose is attached. Here I finished sewing on the nose, and we're going to continue and sew on the eyes. And what I like to do is bring my needle towards the inside of the work, counting 4 rows up using the orange color. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then coming about where the ear starts right over here, I'm going to bring my needle down using that area right over here. So right on top of the 4th row using that single crochet, I'm going to insert my needle using that space. So here you can see it right here. Pull out your needle, and what we're going to do now is finding the center of the ear, which is right here. I'm going to use that space and come 1 row up, and using that stitch I'm going to go ahead and insert my needle towards the inside and bring it out. Here we created 1 line. Now go back to where we started, which is right over here, and pull your needle out. So here we created 1 line. Let's create the second line, and the second line is just going to go straight across, but this time we're going to use the middle and come right down where the middle is and insert our needle somewhere here. So 1 line is going to be longer and then 1 line is going to be shorter, like so. Now let's go ahead and find the second side and work on the second eye. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, find your beginning of the ear, and somewhere over here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to go ahead and insert my needle from the inside out. Just make sure that it's even with this eye, and bring it out. And now what we need to do is go one row up, find the center of the ear, bring it one stitch over, and insert your needle somewhere there, making sure it's even with this one. Pull through. Here's your first line. Let's go back to where we started, right here. Bring out your needle. And now we're going to go straight across, finding the center of the ear and bring it somewhere here. And insert your needle there and pull through. So here we created this type of eyes. You can do any kind of eyes of your choice. And now all I'm going to do is just use a couple of stitches and just kind of make a loop and insert your needle into that loop and pull through. And one more time I'm going to repeat. I'm using back loops only so it doesn't show. Here's my loop. Insert your needle into that loop and pull through. I can cut this yarn. And here's our finished fox plant holder. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.